Welcome to a very special Lionel event, the 1991 catalog presented on video. This is the first video catalog in our history, and the 1991 line is the largest we have ever produced. All aboard! First stop, the traditional line, starting with sets. The Santa Fe Special is pulled by a 240 steamer with operating headlight and square-back tender. The set includes a boxcar, tank car, and caboose. The Badlands Express, an 040 steam locomotive, pulls a flat car with horses, an operating boxcar, and a payroll car. 2 good guys and 2 bad guys are also included. Mickey's World Tour train is headed by a 240 locomotive with operating headlight, smoke from the stack, and a slope-back tender. There's an operating Goofy boxcar, gondola with canisters, and Mickey's World Tour caboose. The Iron Horse Freight, die-cast locomotive with working headlight, puffing smoke, and metal drive rods. Three freight cars with operating knuckle couplers and a semaphore you can build yourself. The Nickel Plate Special features a die-cast loco with headlight and puffing smoke, and a tender with chugging sound. The freight cars have operating knuckle couplers and metal wheels and axles. Included are road signs, an operating crossing gate that you build, and telephone poles. Step right up for the Lionelville Circus Special. A colorful 440 General Type engine with an operating headlight and puffing smoke. It heads a consist which includes 2 animated cars and an illuminated caboose. Our new Amtrak maintenance train is headed by an Amtrak RS3 with dual motors, 8-wheel drive, interior illumination, headlight, and operating diesel horn. Included are 4 freight cars, a ballast station, illuminated bumper, 5 telephone poles, a set of road signs, and a switch. All traditional line sets come with track, transformer, wires, and lock-on. Two new traditional line diesels. Here's the Kansas City Southern GP38 with traction tires and operating horn, headlight and couplers. Also a Kansas City Southern illuminated caboose with operating couplers. And the Alaska SD9, also with traction tires and operating horn, headlights and couplers, plus a matching illuminated Alaska caboose. 2 hand cars, Snoopy and Woodstock, and the new Charlie Brown and Lucy. Here's a new 262 Illinois Central steam locomotive with headlight, smoke, and a traction tire for increased pulling power. In passenger cars, 2 6-car sets illuminated and streamlined. Single-car additions to previous sets are the New York Central dining car and the Amtrak dining car. Next up, traditional line rolling stock. From the great Atlantic Ocean to the wide Pacific shore, from the green and growing mountain to the south belt by the shore, she's mighty tall and handsome, All cars feature operating couplers, needlepoint bearings, metal wheels and axles, and authentic railroad markings.
The rumble and the roar as she glides along the woodland to the hill and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo squall, riding through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Well, the eastern states are dandy, so the western people say. St. Louis to Chicago, Rock Island by the way. From the hills of Minnesota, where the rippling waters fall, no chances can be taken on the Wabash Cannonball. Oh, listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, as she glides along the woodland to the hill and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo squall, riding through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Now here's to Daddy Claxton, may his name forever stand, and maybe remember...
We have operating cars, too.
When his earthly race is over, let the curtains round him fall. We'll carry him home to victory on the Wabash Cannonball. Oh, listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, as she glides along the woodland to the hill and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo squall, riding through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball.
Famous name boxcars. Die-cast vehicles. And our intermodal containers are designed to be used with Lionel tractors, flat cars, and the intermodal crane. 2 new cars in our famous Inventors series celebrate the work of Guglielmo Marconi and Dr. Robert Goddard.
I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad to pass the time away. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up early in the morn. Can't you hear the captain shouting? Dying to blow your horn.
Accessories, part of real railroad operations and an integral part of Lionel operations.
Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, strumming on the old banjo. Fee-fi, fiddly-I-O, fee-fi, fiddly-I-O, fee-fi, fiddly-I-O, strumming on the old banjo.
Now, let's jump over to the collector line. Hey, look where you're going. The Lionel collector line for 1991. The Pennsylvania 060 B6 switcher and tender return with rail sounds, all die-cast construction, smoke from the steam chest and smoke from the stack. The tender has an operating backup light. The Pennsylvania work caboose is a perfect companion for the switcher, with die-cast frame, smoking stack, and operating die-cast couplers. The New York Central's 482 Mohawk steamer was a fine locomotive. Now Lionel has made a fine model of it. Die-cast construction, rail sounds, headlight, firebox glow, backup light on the tender. Smoke from the smokestack, smoke from the steam chests. The caboose has die-cast trucks, illuminated interior, and operating couplers. The Fallen Flag series. Number 5, the Frisco Railroad. The GP7 diesel, Magna traction, operating headlights and couplers, illuminated number boards, metal chassis and handrails. The freight cars, operating couplers, die-cast metal sprung trucks. The caboose, operating smokestack, illuminated, extended vision. In 1941, Lionel introduced the Madison cars to answer the demand for more realistic rolling stock. They were made again after the war, but for some reason the Sager Place observation car pictured in the catalog was never produced. Now, 50 years after the original issue, we offer once again the most celebrated passenger series in model railroad history. Each car name is steeped in Lionel lore. Irvington, the location of Lionel's New Jersey factory. Manhattan, headquarters of the company. Madison, the avenue on which Joshua Lionel Cowan was born. And back at last, Sager Place. These 15-inch long cars have the same feel as the originals. They feature stamped metal spring-loaded doors, die-cast trucks, operating couplers, interior light, and passenger silhouettes. Here's the Chessie Steam Special, the T1 locomotive and tender, smoking stack and steam chest, headlight and operating backup light, glowing firebox, and metal handrails. The tender features steam rail sounds, operating die-cast coupler, 6-wheel die-cast metal trucks, and metal handrails. A standard O caboose goes with the T1. Interior light, die-cast trucks, operating couplers and smokestacks, a flashing warning light, ladders, brake wheels, grab rails, and toolboxes that open. That's a lot. The Santa Fe Super Chief is a classic. So is Lionel's version. The red and silver F3, introduced by Lionel in 1948, is back with all the details of the original. Mesh screen intake ventilators, celluloid windows covering the portholes, turned aluminum two-piece horns, metal ladders and grab irons, and silver die-cast trucks. The powered A unit features headlights, 8-wheel drive, die-cast metal trucks, and magnetraction. The non-powered A unit houses the digitally recorded diesel rail sounds. A matching B unit is available, along with 5 matching passenger cars featuring authentic smooth roofs. The cars also have passenger silhouettes, die-cast metal trucks, operating couplers, and are illuminated. The Pennsylvania Railroad was known for its outstanding and innovative locomotives. One of those was the steam turbine. Introducing Lionel's super detailed model of the Pennsylvania Railroad's S2 turbine. This remarkable piece is more than 30 inches long. It has smoking stacks, operating headlight and backup light, and rail sounds. The new Pennsy N8 caboose, also super detailed, goes with the S2. The GS2 Daylight was the first streamlined steamer ever built by the Southern Pacific Railroad. Lionel has made an appropriately handsome model of the engine, and appropriately given it the real SP number, 4410. The die-cast loco features headlight, a new die-cast boiler front, illuminated number boards, magnetraction, puffing smoke from the smokestack, and steam chest smoke. The oil-type tender has 6-wheel die-cast trucks and steam rail sounds. New Lackawanna multiple unit commuter cars featuring real railroad authenticity. A powered and a non-powered matched set. They have metal pantographs, directional headlights, passenger silhouettes, die-cast trucks, and operating die-cast couplers. In the Lionel Spotlight for 1991, the Girls Train. First cataloged in 1957, the Girls Train was an idea whose time never really came. Its pink and pastel motif failed to win favor with the girls, who, like everyone else, wanted authentic-looking trains. But it has become a favorite with the collectors, one of the most coveted sets ever. Now its time has finally come. Announcing the recreation of the Girls Train, headed by a die-cast locomotive with smoke and magnetraction. The Girls Train. Don't miss it this time around. Lionel's Old Glory series, echoing the words that inspired a world. When in the course of human events, 77 years ago, That's one small step for man. Everyone off for the standard O rolling stock. This series is designed to go with our top-of-the-line steamers and diesels. It features die-cast trucks with springs and operating knuckle couplers.
From the green and growing mountain to the south belt by the shore, she's mighty tall and handsome, known quite well by all. She's the regular combination, she's a Wabash cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar as she glides along the woodland to the hill.
In 1940, Lionel introduced scale freight cars to go with the scale Hudson. These same cars are back for 1991. They are equipped with full-size die-cast operating knuckle couplers, so they can operate with all Lionel post-war locomotives.
From the hills of Minnesota, where the rippling waters fall, no chances can be taken.
The New York Central Caboose, the Baltimore and Ohio Hopper, the Pennsylvania Boxcar, the Shell Tank Car,
riding through the jungle on the Wabash cannonball. Now here's to Daddy Claxton, may his name forever stand, and may be remembered in the courts throughout the land. When his earthly race is over, let the curtain round his fall. Let's bury him home to victory on the Wabash cannonball.
Lionel has hand cars and powered units, as do the real railroads.
Hear the lonesome hobo squall, riding through the jungle on the Wabash cannonball.
The Union Pacific fire car features a red warning light and a firefighter who swivels every time the car changes direction. Another old favorite is the track maintenance car. When it hits the bumper, the car reverses direction and the danger sign flips. Additional rolling stock for 1991 includes a Southern six-wheel crane with a matching Southern flat car, a Wabash bunk car with smoking stack, and a CP track maintenance car. You've heard people say, "It sounded like a freight train coming through my living room." Now it really does. Lionel's digitally recorded rail sounds are that realistic. The sounds you are hearing are not from the real trains. They are Lionel rail sounds. Now let's switch over to collector line accessories. The Lionel lift bridge was introduced in 1950 but was never produced. In 1991, we proudly reintroduce it. It offers a smooth lifting system, counterweights, red and green signal lights, fail-safe sensors, bells and horns, and strobe lights. It even comes with its own power supply. The Norfolk and Western Intermodal Crane. The 15-inch high crane moves both forwards and backwards and is steerable. The center cradle moves from side to side and raises and lowers, and the forks open and close to carry the intermodal containers. The crane comes with a control unit and is assembled. New, the animated passenger station. It's time to reach out for American Flyer. Oops! Presenting American Flyer for 1991. The MKT boxcar. The Union Pacific Searchlight car. The General Motors American Flyer GP7. Headlights, metal trucks and wheels. The New Haven EP5 Little Joe. Dual motors, operating pantographs, and headlights. The New Haven square window caboose, illuminated, die-cast trucks, and operating couplers. American Flyer's Missouri Pacific passenger set, headed by twin Alco PAs, was introduced in 1958. A beautiful set, one of the prettiest Flyer ever made. It's back in '91. The 13-inch long cars are illuminated, have die-cast trucks, operating couplers, and passenger silhouettes in the windows. 2 additional cars are also available. The Eagle Spirit Pullman and the Eagle View Vista Dome. Now it's time for the timeless classics. The Lionel Classics line features great trains from the past, like this Freight Express set, with a 318 electric locomotive and 500 series rolling stock. The Lionel State set, the most prized of all the great Lionel standard gauge trains. This 3-car set is headed by a 408E locomotive with dual motors, automatic reversing unit, brass trim, operating directional headlights, and pantographs. The 21-inch long steel coaches are brass trimmed and have 6-wheel trucks, hinged roofs, and detailed interiors. The 400E steamer, another prize, build a locomotor, formed steel and die-cast metal construction, operating headlight, reversing unit, firebox glow, and the 200 series illuminated caboose is a perfect companion. The classic 437 switch tower. The O-gauge Blue Comet set, just like the original that debuted in 1938. The 242 locomotive has an all-metal superstructure, headlight, build-a-loco motor, and firebox glow. 4 matching passenger cars are illuminated and have removable tops and metal trucks. Another proud reintroduction to the 1991 Lionel line is the spring-wound racing boat. First cataloged in 1935, it travels more than 100 feet per minute and steers itself automatically. In 1912, the Lionel catalog described these new racing automobiles this way. The appearance of these cars, especially when whizzing around the track, is realistic in the extreme. Our new version might not be that realistic, but it does have a delightful antique toy look to it. Let's cross over to large scale. Whoa! Look out, buddy! The Disney World 20th Anniversary Special is a special edition set just like the ones that run at the park. A colorful 060 steamer pulls 2 passenger cars with 20th anniversary markings. Clear the way for the North Pole Railroad. St. Nick's 040 steam locomotive features bright new colors, operating headlight, knuckle couplers, and a Santa Claus figure. The flat car comes with Christmas presents, followed by a bobber caboose with North Pole markings. The Union Pacific Limited passenger set. Headed by the 040 UP steamer, the locomotive has an operating headlight and 2 railroad figures. The passenger cars are illuminated with passenger silhouettes, operating knuckle couplers, and Bettendorf-style trucks. A circle of track and a transformer are included. 2 of Disney's most famous cartoon creations are driving this handcar. It features remote control, forward-reverse operation, operating knuckle couplers, brass wheels, removable tools. Here, the Seaboard System GP9 and the Conrail GP7 diesels. Both have 2 motors with traction tires, lighted interiors, front and rear directional headlights, illuminated marker lights, rail sounds, metal handrails, brake hose, and highly detailed trucks. Large-scale rolling stock, new, A&P reefer. New Western Pacific boxcar. New Shell tank car. Operating cars include Seaboard boxcar with ETD, Conrail box with ETD, and the REA boxcar with steam rail sounds.
Hi, Floyd. Let's talk about Transformers. Did you hear they're bringing back the ZW?
The RS-1 transformer combines solid-state electronics with heavy-duty construction, good for trains and accessory operation. Has controls for horns and whistles, direction and bell. And yes, Floyd, Lionel is bringing back the king of all model train transformers, the great ZW. The new ZW2 looks just like the original. Plus, the new ZW2 has improved circuitry and a rail sounds button. It's showtime! Get your tickets for Lionel Videos. The history of Lionel Trains. Of Lionel Trains on video. The whole enthralling story of Joshua Lionel Cowan. The man, the company, and the times that shaped them both. Lionel Trains in action and history in the making. Through boom times and bad.
'48 was a very good year.
45 minutes, color and black and white, VHS only. A Lionel Tour, the making of the Scale Hudson, a new TMK production. Tour the Lionel factory and follow the making of the greatest engine of them all, the Scale Hudson. You'll see everything involved in the manufacturing process: planning, engineering, assembly, decoration, advertising. A rare look behind the scenes. 40 minutes, color, VHS only. In this video catalog, we've covered almost all of the 1991 Lionel line, but not quite all. See your Lionel dealer for more information. Thanks for watching.
The legend lives. The legend lives. The legend of Lionel. I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. I've been working on the railroad to pass the time away. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up early in the morn. Can't you hear the captain shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, strumming on the old banjo. Fee-fi, fiddly-I-O, fee-fi, fiddly-I-O, fee-fi, fiddly-I-O.